So how goes it? And today I'm going to talk about my Superman collection and why is it here and not on a shelf or out on display? Well, it was all on a shelf on top of the very top of a bookshelf that sits actually right over there. And it's really hard for me to film because if you've seen my studio shots, there's a big workbench I have. That workbench blocks off that whole entire cabinet. So I haven't had a chance to really get over that. And today I've kind of figured, well, let's clean it up. And while I was doing that, I figured I might as well talk about what's actually in my Superman collection. So we're going to start from what's up front here and just kind of work our way backwards. And then there's a really cool what's in the box item here that we will go over last. It's by far my most favorite, one of my favorite items in my collection. So we're going to go off with it's the 20th anniversary. It's sealed. It's not signed or anything. It's just the Kingdom Come Superman, and that's got some relevance to what else is in my collection. There's a reason why I went out and got this. But it is the 20th anniversary deluxe edition, hardbound with the slipcover. It's still vacuum sealed. Then let's go over these comics now. First off, I know some of you folks are like, those things are worthless, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't about value, and none of this is for sale. It's more about maintaining something that, you know, I can honestly say that I personally grabbed or traded someone for. These aren't comics I bought off of eBay. These are comics that I actually went out, acquired personally, and then through my membership, I had them basically graded and sealed. So first to bat would be what I'm just going to go what's on top here. Reign of Superman, number 82. It's basically the foil front. And the reason why I went out and personally found this comic book, I actually traded a kid in high school some really more valuable baseball cards. But the reason why I wanted to get this was when I went home for Christmas to Colorado with my Auntie Jolie, she got me a bunch of Superman cards knowing I was a Superman fan. And one of the first things I got in that was the foil card that matches this cover. And when I realized that that foil was actually the cover of a foil comic, I went out and sought it out and I found the comic, traded some kid hardcore to get it, and I had it graded. It's at 9.2, so I've obviously kept it in decent condition through my childhood. The other is Superman Back from the Dead. And so when I returned from the Philippines, Superman had been killed off. And so that's what started me to start collecting Superman items. So one of the first things I got, one of the things I have is why it's relevant. I have multiples of these, is Back from the Dead Superman series. It's the silver cover, number 500. And just to keep this in perspective here, now back to the San Diego Comic-Con, I was fortunate to go with my best friend and to the very first one that wound up in San Diego. And one of the comic books that I was able to pick up, I had picked up at the Circle K before we went to Comic-Con, was this guy here. And while I was at Comic-Con, one of the fun things about going to Comic-Con is getting it signed. So yeah, I still have the slip from when I submitted it to the company to have them graded, but I still kept they sent me back the cover and everything. And why am I holding these two up here is also there's an interesting thing about this one right here. So as you can see, it's not that there's different editions. This has a silver cover. This one was the original one that was just plain Jane, as you saw with the red one. And take a closer look. As you can see here, the very top of it has been completely cut off. It's actually a shift. And why is that relevant? See, there's one. Correct cover and book. Correct, an incorrect cut. It's completely misaligned. The whole entire comic book is completely cut wrong, by the way. And this is Superman 200. Now, obviously, this is older than me. How did I acquire this? I traded some magic cards to a friend of mine who in turn gave me his store credit, and I was able to purchase this while this was still bagged on a wall in a comic shop. It got graded at 6.5. It's old. I just really wanted it when I was a kid. I thought it was really cool to have it. And it's also Kyle, or Superman's supposed other brother, fighting to who gets to be the Superman of the Earth. So next, we're going to go to the Jim Lee Blue Line Edition Superman. This is pretty gnarly. I have the DC Universe Superman in the black suit. That's just cool. It's Superman outside of a normal print. Then we have the Justice League Superman, still in original packaging. Most of the stuff I keep in original packaging, to the point that, not to be off topic, but original Kenner Yoda, still in the original packaging. Slight crease on the top, but yeah, still in the original packaging. And that's a star case bubble if you didn't know what that was for that. This is the Superman Man of Steel. Just another one. Superman versus Muhammad Ali, one of my favorites, which is weird because it says Batman Hush on it, but it's the Superman Hush. Now for what's in this box. Now this is the, hands down, probably my most favorite item out of the whole entire collection. And I was very fortunate that someone was kind enough to give this to me. Thank you again. This is number 36 of 750. Artist series, action figure exclusive, Kingdom Come Superman by designed by Alex Ross. And I gotta be careful, I don't want to open this the wrong way because then everything will fall out. And that won't be good. During the creation of a toy, in this case specifically the Kingdom Come Superman, they have what's called a artist sculpture, a test shot, and then kind of the actual, what the end product should look like. This is one of those series. There's only 750 of them. This is number 36. Like I said, I was very, very fortunate for someone to give this to me. But yes, this is number 36. And in it, you basically will, it's the certificate, signed, little booklet guy here for the DC Direct gallery. Then we'll go over these in a second. A signature series. Let's spin this around. The signature series, or artist signature series, action figure exclusive edition, Kingdom Come Superman, designed by Alex Ross and sculpted by Tim Birkenecker. I don't know. Sorry if I messed it up, dude. But yeah, so there's a little pencil sketch that's limited and counted for. This is also number 36. So everything in this is completely number 36 of the 750 series. Of the 750 they printed of these. As I mentioned earlier, there's what's known as a artist sculpture, or it's called the replica sculpture in this case, right? Tagged with an anklet, also same number. This is the test shot, which is basically just kind of one shot color. I'm not going to pull these out. I've actually never taken them out of this. They are very delicate. I'm always very afraid that I could pop a piece or break it. So I've never actually ever taken them out of this. And lastly, the final, or what they call, paint variant. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That's my Superman collection.